Welcome back to Range Anxiety TV. We're back again, and with me today, as per usual, is
It's me. Hey, world. Hey, Marty. Hey, babe. Yeah, back in the showroom, looking at some American muscle. Would you?
we're gonna go a bit in depth today, like we did with the R35s. We're not just going to stand here and talk rubbish about a couple of stationary cars or trucks in this case.
Good call.
Thank you. I don't want to upset our American viewers. That's not a car, boy. We're going to go a bit in depth because as Australians, we do have a bit of a fascination and an endearment with
Utes. With the Ute. But is this a Ute? What are you thinking? Honestly, is this a Ute? Are Australians calling these Utes?
no, they call them trucks because we got to differentiate between the little wheezy asthmatic 2 litre high boost diesels and things with proper donks in them.
Yeah.
And these are based on a truck chassis, but they're both the smallest variant of the
Ford F-Truck, F-Series.
which is called an F-150.
250, 350.
450, 650.
There's a lot of
There's a
them.
lot of different 50s. These are both the F-150 derivative, and they're proven to be fairly popular in Australia, but they're not as big, and Ford are about to bring them in and release them here this year. Unfortunately, with a weak powertrain, nothing as good as either of these. These are actually brought to us by American Truck and Aussie Muscle Car Sales, who are a sister company of ours. And so these have got the hardcore donks in them. We're talking 77
With a times 10?
Yeah, times 10, 770 horsepower here. And how many horsepower is this?
450, because this is only the little engine.
449.5.
I rounded it up. Bit of GST on there. We'll probably talk about American Power figures later.
So this is like the his and hers.
Yeah, mine's the little one. Yours is the big one.
Well,
yours
it
is the little
depends
one.
if you're talking about the height.
Yeah.
You see, I'm standing next to this one, not because I like it because it's got the biggest engine, but I can get into it without needing a step. And Paul, he suits the height of this one. So what have you got there? What is yours?
This is the twin turbo V6 high output.
What
EcoBoost.
is it? Not the engine. What is the vehicle?
F-150 Raptor.
Right.
Yeah, very, very popular vehicle, the Raptor. It's kind of like got all the boxes. It's got all the options ticked kind of thing, hasn't it? It's one of those ones where if you keep going down the list and you keep ticking boxes, you end up with this one.
You do.
We got Fox suspension.
Yep.
Baja off-road going tyre suspension combo.
Massive 37s on them standard, even though they are aftermarket rims, they are that size.
From factory, that's right, with like a 315 or something.
And what problems does that actually give us, Paul, when we work on them? You've seen it.
I have seen where we dynoed, I think it was one of these, the red one.
Yes.
Was one of these?
We've done them both.
We've done them both. We actually had to change the rear wheels to put some smaller ones on to bring the track in a little bit and
Too wide for the dyno.
and remove some parts of the dyno. Then we had to take the little edge strips off. Yeah, I don't know how we go with occupational health and safety.
And then with such inertia through the big heavy wheels and obviously the soft, non sort of good power transfer tyres, they draw a really crap dyno graph.
Yeah.
So what's the solution? What do we do there next? And we'll go through it actually a bit later.
To get a better dyno graph, that's easy. You just put something that's more of a road style tyre on. These things are terrible.
Sorry to our sponsors, Mainline, who make the brilliant Pro Hub dyno. You actually put them on the Hub dyno, and you have seen this.
I haven't been here for one of these on the Hub.
Oh, well, there's his excuse. He was away working.
Well, I do have a job.
Okay, on to the next thing. This bad boy here.
Yeah.
Yours is a 3.5 V6 twin turbo.
Yep.
This is a Coyote, 5 litre.
Yep.
5 litre streeter with one of Art Whipple's 2.9 litre blowers.
One of his finest.
Painted in Ford Motorsport blue, sitting on top. Tweaked by Shelby.
Yep.
Everyone would have heard of Carroll Shelby over the years. They would have seen him in the Ford versus Ferrari thing and know about the Shelby Cobras. And unfortunately, Carroll had passed by the time this was done, and it was no longer built at the LAX factory. It was built in Indiana.
I'm sure he would have been happy with it.
Probably. 770 horsepower, just beautifully done, supercharged thing. And we'll go through the tune a bit later. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's got, this is, again, has suspension and wheels and exhaust, body kit, and I can't remember what else, but there's a lot of things they add on down there in the old Shelby plant.
Bit of trim, bit of body. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. Whereas they made thousands of these, tens of thousands of these, they only made a couple hundred of these, didn't they?
250 in total, from what I understand. And how many you reckon would be right-hand drive converted?
Well, I know we have two that we own, a four-door and a super cab, and we had one other, and I think there's a couple more on car sales. So there's probably about 8 or 10 in Australia that I know that are right-hand drive.
That's not bad. You'd be one of very, very few in the world if you own one of those.
Cheap. Oh. And they're not actually particularly useful, right? But they do.
That's rough.
They sound good.
Yep.
I mean, you're not going to load it up.
When you say they, you are talking that one.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to load it up with 200 kilos or 500 kilos of dog shit in the back. This is carpeted, right? That's what I'm saying. It's not particularly useful.
Yeah.
Does good skids.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Mental.
And you can drive down the road revving it with that great V8 noise thinking that you're Mark Wintercup.
Yes.
Whoever that is.
Yeah.
Right?
But you aren't going to be off to work with your tradie toolkit in the back. Well, if you are,
people will give you kudos if you've got big poles dog shit hauling down the side of it.
Exactly.
Sounds cool, got the vibe, whereas yours...
Yeah, that is probably the biggest drawback with this whole car, I reckon. I've seen you tune a few of these.
With open exhaust. Standard exhaust, they're not too bad.
Fit an aftermarket exhaust system for that extra, I guess, as a performance gain to be had. Yes, no, maybe. Yeah. You just don't really want your mates knowing about it.
Well, it sounds like a VNV6 in the wet, doesn't it?
It does.
They're a proper mang-mang.
It's really not nice. It's not pleasant. So I'd keep the stock system.
And the stock system works good anyway.
Yeah.
And here's what's going to happen is because the Australian Ranger Raptor, which is like the kid-sized version, has the 3-litre version of that V6 twin turbo in it now. And the first thing people are doing, putting exhaust on it, mate. Oh, you're going to be horrifically surprised when you do.
For a bad day.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing that stands out with these. They're like real-size engines. Yeah. So why is it that we've got our little smaller engine, if you like, highly strung diesels?
Well, we do have the petrol V6 version of this, the Ranger Raptor.
Yeah.
Well, whatever it is, not the Wild Track, the Ranger Raptor, yeah. I mean, we get the rest, we're like John West, except the opposite. We get what everyone else rejects. You can put a tuner in there if you want, it all lines up, videographer. And yeah, so our 3-litre will be about as fast as this because it's in a lighter, smaller body. Right. But it's just not, and it's still got a lot of Fox stuff on it. And for those that don't know, you can drive down the street and confuse the two, but it's not an F truck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. The one thing that I know why they're here, the main reason, is because of John's other business.
Yeah.
These things can pull or tow what's 4.5 tonne.
Well, probably not either of these because of the spec of
actually, I reckon they can.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Or maybe your suspension.
You heard it here first from Halzon's GVR.
Don't sign off on that. Yeah. But they probably can.
Probably. I can probably win an Olympic gold medal, but I doubt it.
You've won more than Lance Armstrong.
You don't.
Tour de France.
You don't tow with these. You can, but you don't. You jump sand dunes in that and you drop skiddies in that, right? That's what you buy them for. Yep. And I'll show you why. But let's go around the back and have a look how truly useless they are.